Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're gonna install the stainless steel black pannier rack of the KTM from the year 2021 and onwards. In this video I'm gonna walk you through the various steps on the parts that we need to delete in order to install this rack good and tight, and after that how I installed this complete system. Also in the video, which I think is a nice add-on because I couldn't find that on the YouTube channels or any information, is actually that we need to adjust these plastic covers a bit in order to still let them fit on the motorcycle after the installation of the pannier rack. So I'm going to walk you through on how I did this and the approach and the steps I took in order to get this installed, which is relatively easy. There's one big note and one change. In some videos of the earlier KTM models and maybe a different version of this Touratech rack is that they also needed to delete the top case carrier. For this system that I bought, it is not necessary to loosen that up. So you only need the sides in order to, and the footrest to get loose or loosen them up in order to install this thing correctly. I hope you liked this video. And if you care, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos and updates on this KTM. If you have any questions or remarks, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to do my best in order to get back to you as soon as I can. So without further ado, let's dive into this video. Here we have the Touratech Pannier set. This is the left side and this is the right side. As you can see it, these brackets or these steel tubes are a little bit longer in order to get past the exhaust. So I first laid out everything that the set has. So you need a good installation. These are the stickers, so you can put them on the different parts in order to protect the frame of the KTM. You've got two of each. You've got some nuts and bolts, M6s, M8s, some washers, put them here. These are for the set here that will overcome the back end over the motorcycle, and these rubber stops. You can download the installation manual, which I downloaded from the Touratech website, by filling in the part number, but I will link this in the description below. So these are all the bits and pieces that we need. I will obviously also use a bit of Loctite when securing these bolts on the motorcycle. But I'm very happy with the looks of this second-hand set because they normally are quite pricey. So with that being said, let's get on and dismantle the motorcycle parts that need to come off. Let's first loosen the parts that need to come off. For that you can use this one, for example. It's a T30. The T30 is for this plate to come off, and then you need a little bit larger T40 for the bolts of the footrest to come off. They are located underneath here, so they're really relatively easy to come off. I will first do the left side of the motorcycle plus the installation, and then the same thing on the other side of the motorcycle. So let's go. And with that, we are clear to go on and have the installation of the stickers. But first, I always like to do a little bit of cleaning. That this is clean for the stickers to go on. Let's see if we've got the good size. We prepped the stickers, so now it's safe to install the pannier side for the left side of the motorcycle. Please be aware that there are also rubber stops or plugs supplied with the mounting set, and it's more easy to put these on while the pannier system is off the motorcycle. So make sure you do this before you put the rack on, because they might need some persuading. In my case they did. So let's put this system on. Bolt the system on, but I leave a bit of space because I will tighten the whole bit on the motorcycle once the whole system is on. For the footrest you just use the standard bolts that are supplied. And with that, the left side of the motorcycle is secured. And on the right side it's going to be the same setup. First we're going to remove this plastic cover here. Then we're going to remove the heat shield of the exhaust, because that's what we need to remove before we can actually loosen the bolts of the footrest. After that, we're going to do the same thing as on the other side. We're going to install the protection stickers here and then install the right side of the Touratech Pannier set. Great opportunity as well to clean the exhaust and the inside of the heat shield. So clean, in that way we can install it cleanly on the motorcycle. Let's loosen up the footrest. And with that, we are ready to install the protection stickers and get the pannier set on the right side on the motorcycle. Stickers installed. Now let's prep the bolts. Obviously we need to watch out for the exhaust while we're installing this one. So first, let's drive in some security bolts before we're doing the rest. Now we have the two security bolts in place. The system still can move around freely. So now we're going to drive in the bolts from the footrest, and then we're gonna fasten up the whole system. Just make sure that the holes here are clean as well, because that helps a lot. No sand, etc. in the holes. With that footrest being installed again, we can now further install the bolts. Now time to do the last part of this thing, or second to last, and that's install the bar at the rear. There are some holes to be plugged as well with a plastic set which is here, and you need to fit them before you're actually mounting it on the motorcycle. Also, there's a bolt with a plastic thing that will attach to the outside, so like this, and it will fasten using a washer and a nut. So with that being said, let's go and install it on the motorcycle. With that, the installation of the rack has been successful. The pannier set. I'm really happy with the result actually. Although I like the sleek rear look of the KTM without this, But when you're going off-roading and take this machine a little bit more for what it's used to be or meant to be, it is a necessity. Certainly for me, if you saw me failing last time. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to install the heat shield. So this looks as it should be again. And then we are going to install the plastic covers again. However, before we can do that, we need to make a cutout, but I'll show you when we get to the workbench. But first, let's install the heat shield. Heat shield installed, and the rack looks sturdy. So let's get to the workbench in order to modify the plastic bits. We now need to modify the plastic covers because, as you can see, it doesn't fit right now. And actually there is a bit of, let's say, own tinkering that you need to do in order to make them fit. For the older models, there is a cutout already on the plastic piece, which is right here. I will show it on the workbench a little bit later. But then you run into an issue that this side actually doesn't fit, because here there isn't any let's say cutout or already a maul in it that you need to follow. So I did some tinkering myself. We're back at the workbench and we're going to make the plastic caps fit on the motorcycle. As I just already explained, there is a cutout on one part of the plastic cap, but there isn't on the other. For that, I am actually using this device. It's called, I only know it by the brand name, which is a Dremel. This is not a Dremel, this is a Von Rock, but it does the same kind of job. So you need a grinder, so you can actually grind out the material. And then I also use a kind of a sandpaper and another kind of sandpaper thing in order to smoothen out this set surface, so when you install it on the motorcycle you don't see all the ribbled plastic thing. Watch out, it gets hot when you're grinding in this sense. It is also able to just use other tools besides this one. You can also use a cutter and maybe some sanding paper on your own, or maybe even a Stanley knife. But yeah, I've did one with a cutter and a Stanley knife, and you can see the clear difference. This one has rough edges around, this one as well. That's why I later on decided to purchase this, which is not expensive. From Von Rock it's only 34 euros. And then you get a way smoother kind of finish. It's still not perfect, but hey, once installed on a motorcycle, which is going to be from this kind of view, you don't see the edges as much as you do it right now. So with that, just let's finish this up and install it back on the motorcycle. Safety first, safety goggles, so no plastic splinters get into your eyes, and let's go. We've done both caps. It's not 100% equal, but the rough finishes are as good as it gets. So I'm happy with it, so we can install it back on the motorcycle. Back at the motorcycle, we need to get this bolt out of the pannier system so we can use that hole in order to drive through that bolt. So relatively easy. That hole is open, so we're going to use the factory bolt that KTM supplied with this thing. So yeah, relatively easy. Let's go. And with that, we have the cover installed. With that, the installation of the Touratech rack is complete. I'm going to copy paste this on the other side. It's going to be the same deal. So yeah, let me know what you think. The new Touratech side pannier protection for the exhaust, so off-roading just became a bit more safe. If there are any questions, leave a like, subscribe, comment and I'll try to answer your questions as soon as I can. And you're gonna see me in the next upgrade video of this KTM because there are still some things coming. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Bye.